Support for today's episode comes from Goli. You guys already love them for their ACV gummies, but they just launched a new vitamin gummy, Super Greens. And did you know that Goli Super Green gummies contain vitamin A, an essential vitamin that supports a healthy immune system? They're sugar-free, keto-friendly, and vegan-friendly. Another bonus, they're fucking delicious too. So as a Boonie Breakdown listener, you can receive 10% off your purchase by using the code Boonie. Head on over to go.goli.com/the Boonie Breakdown. The link can be found in the show notes and on the BoonieBreakdown.com. Hey y'all, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to the Boonie Breakdown podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. Welcome to episode 189 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast. We're back for some more ratchet fun this week. Our guest this week is the homie. Shika is here. You always love when we have a good girlfriend, Kiki, but Shika and I talk about our dating age limits. How old is too old? Somehow that leads into a conversation about some big ass balls. We talk about dating preferences. What are we looking for out of Q4 of 2022? And so being scared of the things that you really want. It's a good conversation. It's fun, a little serious, but responsible and ratchet mixed all together. So stick around for that conversation. We're getting right into my pick of the week. This week, my pick of the week is 9 Perfect Strangers over on Hulu. This episode, it was a mini series. It kills me because Hulu did that shit where they did not drop all of the episodes at one time. It was released weekly, but it had Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, my fucking fave, Bobby Cannavale. I love that nigga. Regina Hall, Michael Shannon from Mad Men. It was a true ensemble cast. And let me tell you, they were acting. It is so interesting because it was one of these shows where it's going to be like an ensemble cast, but it'll be turned into like an anthology. So it's supposed to be coming back from a second season, but it's going to have a whole different cast with, I guess, a new host of problems. But it kind of takes place at like a boutique health and wellness resort, and it's supposed to promise like this major transformation for all of these characters who have some deep issues. It is so good. Everyone was really acting, good twists and turns. I personally liked it better than White Lotus. I think they were very kind of similar, but not exactly the same show. I think just because they came out at the same time. But looking for something to binge, I think it was like 8 episodes. Really good. Check out 9 Perfect Strangers over on Hulu. And can I just say, the only really bad thing that I can say about it is the one girl's teeth were just so fucking big. And if you go watch it, or if you have watched it, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But I enjoyed Boonie approved pick of the week.
Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
All right. Feedback from episode 188, Win at Online Dating with Tara Stidham of She Dates Savvy. So many good comments. I kind of talk about one comment that everyone harped on later in the episode with Shika, but I received this message. I'm scared and I appreciate you asking my question about tall, skinny men's sites. Honestly, the point that I loved is when y'all contrasted how hard we go at managing a job search, careers, financial goals, but we don't put the same energy into our love life. That really got me thinking. Also, we sit here at the mercy of some men to pick us and like us. And yeah, it's lame. Great episode. Lots of food for thought. I also, first of all, thank you for sending in that comment. I love feedback. I also got a message from 3 of you guys who have signed up for consultations with Tara to kind of get your online dating life together. Because like I said, she dragged me a little bit in the episode myself. I put my cards out there. And sis got me all the way together. So if you have not checked out episode 188, I encourage you all to do so. Also, I think what I loved most about some of the feedback is how most people were introspective. You kind of took the feedback and kind of saw where you had flaws or some holes or all the things that you could work on and do better. So kudos to everyone being self-aware and reflecting off of last week's episode. Also, last week, I was a guest on the Hung Up podcast, hosted by Eric Cole out of Philadelphia. The episode is titled Putting Our Cards on the Table. This was a funny one. I'm going to also be very honest and say it pushed me out of my comfort zone because I'm always a bit nervous because, like I said in the episode with Eric, you don't want to offend people, but I'm also in a space where I'm still learning correct terminology, things that might be offensive to the LGBTQ community. And so this was a step out of my comfort zone to go into that world. And just even like one question that Eric asked me, he starts out the gate like, when did you know you were straight? And I was like, no one's ever asked me that a day in my life. So it's a good one. It's linked in the show notes. You can find it over on the BoonieBreakdown.com on most podcast apps. Again, it's the Hung Up Podcast, episode 409, Putting Our Cards on the Table. If you would like more contact with your girl Boonie, some extra perks, you want some special merch, you want a live event, you want to be in a group chat, then you can head on over to our Patreon. You can support for as low as $3 a month. That website is patreon.com/the Boonie Breakdown. Some great community we're building over there. Small but mighty. I think we're about 30 folks, but we're going to keep growing. And I just want to thank all of you who have signed up, supported, attended live events, commented in the group chat, all of those great things. Love you, love you, love you. Also, go ahead and follow us Instagram and Facebook at The Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us on Twitter at Boonie Breakdown. When sharing this episode, be sure to use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown, the hashtag PODIN, PODIN. You can tag us. You can put it in your Insta story. You can put it in a Facebook story. You can tweet it. You can share it on Instagram. So many things. You can comment. You can like. But most importantly, I hope that you have subscribed and maybe left a 5-star review over in the Apple Podcast app. 5 stars, 5 stars. We love those. They help so much. So that is it for me. So let's get ready to break it down. Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and we got the homie. Shika is here.
Hi.
Look, if you're on Patreon, you can see her skin is glowing, her purple braids. She look cute.
Oh, thank you.
It's so funny. If I had thought about this, as soon as I came back in the house, I took off all my clothes and got comfortable. And then I was like, shit, I got to record.
I have on a bathing suit cover up. It's fine.
I was like, oh, I should have kept my clothes on because you looked cute. I had my necklace, my braid. When I say I stripped.
That is me. When I get in the house, everything comes off. Like I don't
here.
For what? For what?
So I gotta show you this. Well, first, wait a minute before we do there. It's your first episode in this season. So how have things been?
Things have been good. I can't really complain. Work was a bitch last week, the later part. I was off on Friday though, but
come on.
Other than that, yeah, I've been chilling. I had sex for the quarter, so
check. She got in her quarterly sex quota.
But yeah, I've been chilling. I'm kind of ready to fall a little bit. I'm ready to slow up the pace again and kind of just chill.
No, I feel you. The nesting in the house. Today was a good day. When I woke up, I opened the windows up, let some fresh air in. I had the patio door open, but I just closed it since you were recording. I didn't know what was going to be happening out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward, chili season. I'm going to have to make some chili and
Yes.
We get there popping. But I too am excited because once it's fall, then I know my birthday is on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
So I got these things at the store because you're like, we on the same wavelength sometimes, and the stars and the moons and the shit.
Right.
And it was this flat. I want to pull it out. If you're on Patreon, you can see it. And if you've done this and you're familiar with it, then I need you to DM me how it went for you. So it's like they had all types of essential oils and rocks and stones and crystals and all that stuff right up my alley. And I kept coming back to this thing because it was called an ear candle. This is what it looks like.
Okay, I've heard of these.
Right? This is what it looks like. So this little red thing is like where you stop. So you're supposed to put this in your ear, or you put a plate here. You put this in your ear and then you light it on fire and it's supposed to burn down to here and then you pull it out. So it comes with this little card and it was like ear candles encourage relaxation, which is a part of healthy lifestyle and may help living with various illnesses and disease. And so it shares like how one ear candle can affect your well-being. So it's like if you burn it to here, it can affect your mood, awake, normal, alert consciousness. Then it's like if you burn it down to here, it's like relaxed, lucid, calm, not thinking, associated with calm, focus, happiness, and confidence. But if you can get like down here, it's like a deeper frequency. It's supposed to help with like deep relaxation, meditation, creative.
Okay.
So naturally, I text a particular person on my roster who I was like, they might be down for some shit like this. Mm-hmm. And he responds, "Oh, I'm with it. I heard about this. I knew you had. Right. So now I'm going to be, instead of fucking, no, we probably will still fuck. We're going to be burning candle wax in each other's ears."
That's very cute. I like it.
I was like just that. Like, who would do this with me? Because you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do it unsupervised. But I'm like, who would do this with me?
I was going to say, I'm a clumsy bitch. So
could you imagine? Like, because it's paper. It's paper. It's like dipped in wax, so it burns. But I'm just intrigued, like how that can affect your frequency. And if it doesn't work, then I can get some dick, and that will definitely affect my frequency.
And when? Let me know how it goes, though, because I'm into shit like that, you know.
Yeah, I kept, the guy in the store was like, you keep picking it up, you keep going back to it. I was like, because I'm just so intrigued, like,
going to it.
How does this fuck up your frequency? Like, how does it do this? Like, I'm just burning a candle in your ear.
I'm into it.
So I'm gonna try it. I also, while I was there, it was a very interesting day in the store.
Is it in Baltimore?
It's in Baltimore, down in Fed Hill.
Okay.
I was sitting here thinking, how old is too old for you when you're dating? Like, do you have now, as we are creeping to 40?
Child.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. Do you have an age limit? Like, what is too old? Because I saw, and I'm saying this, because I saw a couple and I looked like, we talk this shit about, well, I'm going to get a sugar daddy and all this shit. But when rubber hits the road, could you really fuck a 60-year-old?
No, you can't be my daddy age, because my daddy, like, what? No, cannot be my father's age. I think I've always felt like a 10-year was like my cutoff, like 10 years older. So 47, so like 50 maybe, but 50 seems, I don't know. I have to see what the 50-year-olds are like or look like. Well, my brothers. Okay. Me and my brother are 11 years apart. So my brother is 48. So
that's your limit.
Yeah, because he's more dramatic than my father. Like, he is a nut. So let's say 10 years. Let's say 10. I
think 10 years is always going up. So to you, I'm still 36. So 46 is, and I've done the 10-year shit before.
You're 10 years younger. How young were you when you did 10 years?
When I did 10 years older, I think I was 31 or 32. So they were 41, 42.
Yeah, I was 25.
Yeah.
In essence, I think we were the youngest people there at the time. Essence was mad. You remember, like Essence was
It's
old.
an auntie fest. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely
so
auntie
he
fest.
was 25 and he was 35. So yeah.
Okay. Yes, I feel like 10 years up is though, but I do have this weird thing that while I'm in my 30s still, I want to fuck a 50-something-year-old nigga. And I don't know where it comes from. I bet you if I said it to my therapist, it'd be some daddy issue there. But
they probably would.
I do. I don't have any regard for like fucking a 60-year-old. But while I'm still in my 30s, I could be 39. I want to fuck somebody in their 50s, and I don't know why.
Interesting. I mean, it's
random
funny.
Boonie tidbit. I don't know why.
It's funny because,
but it's on my fuck bucket list.
My friend is bartender. Actually, is bartender at like an American Legion right now.
I know that's the cat daddy right there,
bitch, and I be going.
I be going to myself with y'all,
and they be on the nigga. Like it is so
like cat
funny.
daddies love a motherfucking American Legion.
Hilarious.
Knights of Columbus.
Yes. And they be in it. They be buying me little $7 drinks and shit. It's really funny. But some of them are like, you know, the ones that aren't like creepy.
So here's the thing though, because somebody also pointed this out to me, like how as women age, no matter how much work they get done on their body or their face, you can look at a woman's hands and knees and tell that she's older.
I heard that.
So too. Now I've been looking at people like women's knees. And so it's like, even though like Beyonce has had work done, right? I was looking at her knees in a picture. I'm like, she photoshopped the fuck out her knees too, because I'm like, you can see where the knees is not as
firm.
Right. They don't look like a knee no more. It just look like it's just something. It's not bad, people, before y'all harp on me. But it don't look like how a knee look, right?
Right.
So I think about that in terms of older men. Like, okay, he could be a cat daddy from the neck up, that gray beard, that salt and pepper, the bald head, maybe. But when the motherfucking clothes come off, am I looking at an elderly motherfucker collecting Social Security checks? Like, that might turn me off. The pussy might dry up.
Need a little bit of a firm body. I mean, I'm not going to be picky about balls because y'all niggas be having long balls. Like, it's...
Old balls are funny.
I mean...
Especially when they're big. Old balls are so funny.
But sometimes they be slapping right. From the back, sometimes it does what it needs to
do. That's why, you know how people drive those pickup trucks with those metal balls be hanging?
Oh my God, I hate that shit.
I hate them too, but that's how some niggas dick's balls be. Yeah. And they be smacking the fuck out your clit. It's so good. It's so perfect. Oh my God.
How do we get there?
I had a nigga with some big ass balls one time, right? And it was so funny. He did not have like really good stroke, but because he had a big dick, I was full.
Yeah.
But baby, them balls was hitting that clit. That's why I came. It was the contact from the balls and the clit. It had nothing to do with his stroke.
So sad.
And he could do it every time because the balls would just get the swinging.
Yeah.
Shout out to, who was it? Isaac Newton for the laws of gravity, because them shits would swing back.
And slap you. It's just like you're sitting here patting your pussy. That's just
Isn't that amazing? Like. Oh my God. But now some 70-year-old big ass balls would not be the move, I don't think.
I'm not. I wouldn't even let you, honestly. I'm not going to let you go.
Oh, okay. So you never say never. Under what circumstances could you see yourself? And I'm not going to say doing it, but even entertaining it. Because like Mario Van Peebles died recently, and the father.
Oh shit! Okay,
the father. Sorry, is that
that's right? That's right. I forgot.
Was that not his name?
I think so. Yes.
Look, I'm Googling now, but he died. Melvin, my bad.
Okay, so we did kill Mario. That's why I was like, oh my God. Because you know I'll be in a bubble. And I don't know what's going on.
So Melvin Van Peebles died. Okay. But you know, he was always on the Black sitcom as the cat daddy who dated the younger woman. He was on Living Single, where him and Mario were dating Regine, both. I think he had a little thing on Girlfriends with Joan.
Yeah.
So would you date and fuck a Melvin Van Peebles type? Because he was definitely in his 70s in those shows.
You know, I hate to be that bitch, but it just really depends on the vibes. Like, I am that. Because it's like, I can't predict a perfect scenario. Like, if I was out and mad and it's like conversation, like at a bar, not the Legion, but another type of bar, and it was cool, then maybe I'll entertain. Because curiosity kills the cat. I am the cat.
Curiosity killed that motherfucking cat.
I'd be curious about a lot of shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm here. This feels like, if it feels good to me, then I'll just be like, all right. Which
that gets you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, bitch, I stay getting myself in trouble. It's a thing. Like, I am the wild card, but it's because of that.
So, okay. So we're saying, like you said, 10-year, maybe under certain circumstances. If the mood and vibe was right, you could let you could go up 30 years. That's what you're saying. Like, that's fucking 30 years.
That's the only way I could think of it, besides like paying me for things.
Yeah. I was gonna say
for my time. Like, if you paid me for my time, then probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, it would definitely have to be some type of exchange where my life is made better.
Yeah. Look at
my
me.
Life. Yeah, like my life would be made better.
Because I thought money, but then I was like, well, what else? And
what if it was like some old nigga who was dying or something, right? And he just wanted you to travel with him. And he's balling out on the, like, I'm talking out my scenario in my head, y'all. Like, he's like, I just need to go to the Maldives, and I want to go to the Greek Isles, and I want to go to Australia, and I just want you to go with me as a companion, and I'm paying because I have 6 months left to live. I definitely would.
Energy could be low. Like, he'd probably be in a room all the time. I could go live my life. Yeah,
I definitely would do something like that.
I'm into it.
A paid escort for like your final months of life travel. Yeah, ball out. Let's go.
I have mad leave. I could work from
leave out the ass right now. So ain't mad at it at all. Okay. Now, how young would you go? This is where I struggle, because men, they always say men mature slower than women. And so that's why I feel like sometimes I'm even killed dating men in their early 40s and I'm in my late 30s. Like, we on the same page.
Basically, that is kind of true.
So I'm like, how young would you go? Because I got a little baby in my DMs. And he's not a baby, but he's a baby to me because he's like the same age as my brother. To me, that's my baby brother. So you're a baby. And so, like, he's 30. Which is not incredibly young, but it's young. I've never dated someone younger than me.
I did around 26 or 20. I think around 26 or 27, maybe. I dealt with a dude. He was 21. It was never do that again. Yeah, see, my nephew's 27, so I feel like I would not go below 27. I don't know. That's weird.
So you're gonna go 10 either way. You have a 10-year window.
I feel like 10 is my thing, because like I went to a Room of Rage and it's owned by Q's, right? I didn't know that until
Word to the good bros.
Right? And so they were telling like tags. So I had tagged them in my story yesterday, and one of the dudes that worked there, I saw him in my story, and he looks young, and I was like, would I? Or wouldn't I? And I was like, I don't know. Because I looked at his page, of course, because like, don't be looking at my shit and I can't look at yours. So here I am too. Being
fair.
And I feel like I saw a flyer for like, maybe I saw some shit like Fire and Ice or something. I was like, oh, nigga, you might be in college. Absolutely not.
College.
I can't go college age.
No, college. I couldn't even imagine dating a guy in college.
No.
Maybe if I was like in my 40s and it was a dry spell and I needed some sex and like trying to get my cougar vibes on, but he was like at least 20, 21.
Maybe.
Is that gross?
It's a little gross to me. Like, I just don't.
Because I'm like, cougars are a real thing.
No, cougars are a real thing, but I don't really like taking care of. I mean, no, let me not. Let me not lie. I am very nurturing, actually, in nature. However, when it comes to relatability, I don't like struggle connections. So, like, and I don't care about a lot of shit. So I can see, you know, him wanting to talk about things I give absolutely zero fucks about. And yeah, so maybe it could be strictly sexual. It cannot be like a dating intellectual thing, because I just feel like I would be over it. Like, you know, this
yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it would totally have to be sexual. I couldn't imagine like, let me teach you things about like, no.
Yeah, and even sexual is tricky because we know how niggas in their 20s fuck.
As I reminisce back.
So I guarantee there's probably a couple that were like, will still withstand, but I guarantee if we went back and tapped some of the ones that we were like, yes, it might be like, especially if they ain't learned no shit.
Which they probably didn't, because some bitch never told them that you couldn't fuck right. So yeah. I feel like that's how you get to men who, or people, I'm not even gonna put that on men, but even some women, that is how you get to people getting to later in life and aren't good sexers.
Yeah.
Because no one's told them. And to putting it on themselves, they've not taken any initiative to up their sex game. So it's just, this is the fuck what it is. Shit. I do too. And I wanted to learn because I saw, and I think I missed it. I need to go look. Because I think one of the people, the sexologist I followed, had like a course that was on sale that intrigued me. And I was like,
Yeah. What's her name?
But I know Sexual Essentials was just having a big sale too on all her master classes. So get that mouth game right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really laughing that we really just talked this out. This was off the dome, people. I have if you cannot tell, I've had no topics prepared, but I was just curious because I saw that couple walking and I was just trying to guess the age difference. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's easily a 30-year age difference.
That's so interesting. I wonder if it's fun. I mean, it could be like, you never know. Some people are like young spirited. You might meet somebody. I think that's why I was on the vibes thing. It's like, I might meet somebody older and be like, you know what? I really enjoy this. And who am I to deny myself happiness?
Who are you to deny it, sis? Don't deny yourself happiness. Right. Did you watch, because I have to really talk about this too. Did you watch Really Love on Netflix?
Yeah. Can I just say, let me just get this off my chest. I really am not in love with the way that Netflix likes to end their love movies, like their love stories. I hate it. Like, what the fuck was that? I did not watch this for this long. Matter of fact, I fell asleep a couple of fucking times.
It took me 5 times to get finished. Like, it took the 5th time was the first time in watching it that I got past the 20-minute mark. And so I was like, okay, you did it. I dozed off, woke up. I was like, I just have to finish it. And then it finished. And I was like, that was it?
No, I literally said that was it when the credits came. I was like, nah, I know you. And I probably bust out. And I know you fucking lying. And it's set here. And I'm not even like a movie person. Like if enough people say, oh, you should watch. Okay. But I do not actively go and watch movies. I'm more of a serious person. I prefer that type of television.
I would agree.
So, doing that, and I was like, I cannot get this time back. All the time back that I fell asleep watching it, I had to go back because I didn't remember where I fell asleep or what was happening. It was just kind of boring.
Yeah, no, it was just boring. It also made me question, can Kofi act or is he just fine as fuck?
You know, because he seems like he's a lot of Ralph Angel all the time. It's like he has like a steady.
Yeah, like he can't get that accent gone. I don't know.
He's in that, even the emotion and everything. I was expecting to, especially when they had the intense argument, but it was just like, yeah, I felt like it was Ralph Angel, and I don't know, but oh my god, I had a conversation with someone about it, my friend, and it was an interesting take that I had, and now I forgot it. But because I felt like in this, what thing that they did do that I thought was interesting is that they had her choose her career when it's the man that does that. And I'm curious why, like and it was kind of like he was he was trying to pick his art over it. Maybe that's what it was, art versus like job. Because I feel like women creatives might be more, like, okay, I'm choosing this, but yeah, it was interesting. And how he thought things could just pick right up. I don't know. It was very weird.
Yeah, nothing about it made sense. Even to the fact where they were trying to pass the whole thing as DC, and it was clearly filmed. Majority of it was filmed in Baltimore. It was where I'm looking at the street, like that says Greenmount Avenue. That is Baltimore.
And they did like, maybe like, as most people do when they do DC, they're going to get Ben's Chili Bowl in there.
Yeah, I was like, that looked like the only thing they filmed in DC. Yeah, that whole scene.
And they might have hit some houses on U Street because they look like some of them. But yeah, I don't know. And
it was a 0 out of 5 stars for me.
Yeah. What do y'all do? Like, listen, I work hard, okay? I do not need to be deciding the end for y'all motherfucking movies and shit. Like, not all the time. I do
wrap this shit up. Wrap it up.
Put it up. I want a fucking bow. Okay.
On top, please. This shit was whack. And it made me think about, like, because I was watching it. I think the theme of this month on the podcast has been clearly dating. Last week was singles. Was it American Singles Week, Single Awareness Week, something like that. Something like that. So the big thing that I got the most messages about was about people being the height preference that women have when dating men.
Yeah.
And the people really harped on me really bad about that. So
really?
Yeah, that's the comment I got the most things about. Like, it's a preference. Men get to decide, if they want to date, small women or large women or whatever. And I was like, yeah, nobody was saying you can't have your preference. Like, we all like what the fuck we like. Mm-hmm. But by only liking and choosing to only date specific people, you are missing out. Like, that's a fact.
Yeah.
You're missing out on another pool of people because you're just limiting yourself to your preferences.
Yeah.
It's nobody saying it's wrong or bad, but that is what it is.
And it's funny because when I was in therapy, I haven't been in some months, but when I was there and I was on dating apps, she would like ask to see my phone. She's like, okay, what about him? And I was like, no. And she was like, why not? Because she was like reading the profile and like matching it up with the things I wanted. And she was like, well, it says da-da-da. And I was like, I'm not attracted to him. And she's like, okay, why don't you try swiping on people who might interests are the same and you're not attracted to them? Because, I mean, yes, attraction is important, much like to some people, height as a preference, but you be ruling shit out.
We rule stuff out.
One thing where you don't have to be gorgeous or super fine or all that. Like, you might meet somebody who you wouldn't typically deem attractive, but you're so attracted to their personality, it works. Like, that shit happens.
It does. So I was just very shocked that people were fixated on that out of the entire conversation. Mm-hmm. That was the part that people got fixated the most on. And so it kind of made me start looking at some of the stuff that I do and the way I move. Mm-hmm. Because, and I started looking at my my list of people, and I was
Mhm.
like, I don't feel like I do have a type. I've dated a shorty.
Yeah.
I've dated some talls. I've dated some average. Like, I really don't think I have a type.
I do
Now,
not.
my type might be fine motherfuckers. Like, my type might be your face card more so than your height and stuff.
I
But
should.
I'm also say too, I haven't dated somebody who was 5'2" either. So let me preface all that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's gonna be my charge.
A
Is like
height snob?
I'm
No.
not a high snob.
Okay, me neither. So
Cause I'm like I said in the episode last week, if I wore Uggs, I was taller than this one guy.
right. Yeah. And I'm
So
4'11", so really
yeah, everyone's taller than you, bitch.
yeah, like even this one guy I'm talking to, he was like, oh, because we like, had family man. He was like, oh, you didn't know I knew how tall he was, let's be clear. He was like, oh, you thought I was tall? I was like, no, nigga, you still taller than me. So like I'm still over here.
And
So
that's the crazy thing though, too, about it. It's like we get mad that men height fish us. But men are doing it because they know we're only want to talk to. Most women prefer a tall man. And so it's kind of this vicious cycle of like, when does it end? Because it's like, if everyone's like, I want a nigga who's 6'2", well, a 5'6" nigga can't front and say he's 6'2", but he could try and say he's 5'9". So that's why my thing was always on these, when I was on the dating apps, whatever height they had listed in my mind, I just subtracted 2 to 3 inches because I feel like most of the men on there were lying.
Yeah, and I don't even really I looked at height. I was looking at the pictures, honestly. And you could tell in pictures a lot if they're short or not, because men aren't great at like angles and things like that. So a lot of times, you kind of tell their height, or if you compare like the picture to what they actually say. But yeah, I think I don't have a specific type. I think I like a certain stature, but even with that, I've deviated from it. So I've tried things out. Yeah, but I do like to be attracted to your face. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's what my
face I want to stare at.
I think that's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna try a nigga who is ugly.
I mean, child, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I mean, it was
cool. I think that's really going to be a charge that I take because I really do get fixated on be like, damn, he fine.
Yes, you do.
Ooh, he fine. I really do.
That is your thing, for sure.
That is my thing. I just need to think he's fine. I don't give, you could probably have one leg. As long as that hip work, I don't give a fuck.
I really don't think I have a one thing either. I don't.
Yeah, mine is literally, are you fine?
Yeah.
And I think it's rooted in, this is the stuff that you're not supposed to say, but I'm just going to say it. Because having an ugly baby, really, I think about it way more than I probably should.
Yeah.
And I'm not even somebody who really wants to be a mother like that. But I do think about, like, shit, every time you do this.
I think about when I get annoyed with you, like, I might accidentally call you ugly, right? And that
damn, Shika, you cold-blooded.
But not, you know how you get upset and like, and even if I don't say it, I probably thinking like, this ugly motherfucker got me upset, you know, like.
And I know somebody's gonna judge us, and they're definitely gonna judge me because I think this is like the second time this season I'm talking about ugly people. Because here's the thing too, I think a lot of people. And we've had this conversation before. We did a whole episode where we rated ourselves, people. We cracked ourselves open for y'all.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the episode number, but I think it was like, I'm a 7 or something like that. And I can't remember the episode number, but it's called I'm a 7 with Shika. So go look for it if you want to go back and listen to it. I mean, we really rated us on a lot of categories. It was like honesty, looks, sex, our bodies,
personality, sense of humor.
We went through the whole report card, people. So So yeah, I always tell people like, cause I think everybody wants to be a 10 and not everybody is a 10, right? Like
chemistry tell us
that
this is not a 10. So
and it's so funny. Y'all can cancel. That's the one thing I really fucking agree with him on. It's like, I really do think people just need to be very honest about what you're working with, right? And I'm not saying, because to me, a 5 is average. That's not ugly.
Yeah. And honestly, for a long time, I felt very average. Like, I feel like
most days I do.
Yeah,
but make no mistake, I don't think I'm ugly.
No. And see, I think I'm cute.
Yeah.
But some people be like, oh, you're pretty. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's
with you.
That's necessarily what I think.
Yeah. And there might be some damaging thoughts there, some earned learning we need to do. I know it's time. I feel like I'm never really like, I always think most days I'm cute. There's some rough days where you just don't feel it in your soul. And everybody has those days. When I do a little something like, okay, I do a little something more. Oh, she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But I never feel like at any moment somebody's giving me a 10.
Right. Me either.
And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't want people to take pity, like, no, Boonie, you're beautiful. You don't need to pep talk me because I know I'm pretty. Yeah. But it's just like, that is the one thing I agree with Kevin Samuels. He be on some buck nigga shit most of the time.
Average. It is.
But yeah, most people are average, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. You might be a 10 to somebody, but to somebody else, you a 6.
Right.
It's okay.
I'm not for everybody.
Don't be sending y'all better not send me no nasty grams. I don't want to hear.
Don't do my boo like that. We are just shit. We have not talked like this in a minute, so we're just talking through some shit. This is how you learn. It's how you figure out where you are. You know, maybe toxic. We all got them.
Look, I accept it. Look, I'm back. You mentioned earlier about not going to therapy in a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I just went back to therapy for the first time in 2 years. I thought it was one. If you follow me on Instagram, I had talked about it. And in my mind, I literally only thought it was a year. I thought I had took off.
We don't think about it.
So when it was almost 2 years to the day since I had been to therapy. And I was like, no way. Anywho, it took 10 minutes for a bitch to be cracked open like some eggs, sobbing and boo-hooing, child. And my therapist commended me for even being self-aware enough to know that now was time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because she's like, a lot of people, you might not know, you slip into a dark place. And she's like, you're not in a dark place, you're not in a bad place, but you felt some things triggering you that you were like, let me get my ass back in therapy. And she goes, that is a great place to be like, let's get ahead of it. So yeah, I'm back in therapy. And we got some big homework assignments coming, which I'm kind of like, fuck. I'm the person, I will get the homework done, but I had a homework assignment from therapy that literally took me 4 years to complete.
Wow.
So I was happy to tell my therapist, like, in my 2-year break, I did it.
Oh, good for you, though.
Yeah, I'll get it done. But I mean, some things scared me more than others. That was a scary homework assignment. Took me a long ass fucking time, but we got it done. Progress nonetheless.
Yeah, I think I haven't been since maybe April, May 2020. So it's been a year.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah, time be fucking flying, my nigga.
Yeah, because we were texting one morning. I was like, fuck. And we both were like, oh, self-discovery. And
indeed.
I go, and that's when I like to go, like, especially if I either have some type of self-discovery that I want to unpack, like I'll text my therapist like, hey, I'd like to chat. I mean, it's as simple as that. Now, it ends up getting way deeper than of course, the shit I go in there like, oh, I was thinking this about me and I want to explore. But yeah, especially when it comes to commitment, like I've realized I don't know where I'm at. Yeah,
definitely about to approach some heavy lifting work on that side because I feel the same way. Like something I can't keep blaming these niggas. And all right, sisters, we got to talk because it's so easy to blame the other person. It's so easy to say dating in my city sucks. It's so easy to say these niggas' profile pages is whack on these dating apps. It's so easy, and all that shit is true. I'm with you. I'm nodding in agreement. But at some point, the constant denominator in your love life is fucking you.
Absolutely.
And so you gotta figure out some shit there. So I have some things. I'm not telling all my business, but I have pinpointed one thing in particular that is, I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's like the 2-year, that 2-year mark. This is what we're talking about. Something there for me, it freaks me out. Then I don't know if I play a game of self-sabotage. Is it a game of manifestation? Is it a game of I get in my own fucking way? I don't know what the fuck. But these are some things that I'm going to tackle. But I do think you are the common denominator in all your relationships. And so personal, romantic, family, you're the common denominator. And so
the thing about manifestation that you said, and this is a thing that I have to like constantly remind myself and check myself on, because negative thoughts are manifesting too. Like,
yes.
So like, even like, I love to say niggas ain't shit, right? Because y'all ain't, but whatever. You have hope. But I also, so I have to, even in conversation or in things I say, and being like, you know, even just being like, oh, I'm never going to find nobody that I feel super compatible with. Like, do not say it.
Yeah, because the universe is like, bet, bitch.
Well, you're not ready.
Got your card. Yup.
This
got
is
your
it.
card.
So you have to be careful with that. I know I have to be careful with that. I'm not going to tell all my business either, but your 2 years probably more like my 6 month. And for me, because it tends to be something that happens where I'm like, oh, I can't do this any longer. It's still, to me, the 6 month mark is not coincidental for some reason. I don't think I really self-sabotage. I mean, I self-sabotage, but I ignore myself sometimes because I be knowing better.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's so interesting. Like when you start down and start looking at your own patterns and the role that you're playing in this shit sometimes.
Yeah.
It may be your own patterns and the words you're saying and the things you believe, maybe why you're picking the people you pick, right? It could just be as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that shit is real. So if you were looking, I said it in my Insta story, if you were looking for a sign to get your ass in therapy, this is your motherfucking sign. Go ahead. I know there's some free resources because therapy is expensive. I'm not going to even pretend like it's not. Thankfully, I got insurance and my therapist takes insurance. So I'm good to go there in regards to the payment amount, the money that I put out for therapy. But I know there are some free resources out there. If you Google, I think therapy for Black girls is a really good place to start. Yeah, she has all types of lists.
Psychology Today sometimes if you want to cross reference.
Yep. So yeah, definitely do that. All right, bitch. So you already. All right. So this is the third quarter. So you got your third quarter dick in. Yeah. What do you want your fourth quarter dick to be like?
I'm so unsure, right?
Okay. Wait. Oh, let me ask this question. Or is it even dick? Don't be choking and dying on the Boonie breakdown, bitch.
It might not be. You know, I am not above experimentation. And shit, I hope my parents don't listen to this. I don't think they know this.
Daddy, stop now.
You know, my daddy say he do not listen. He will like, but he do not listen. No, it's funny though, as a child, I mean, not as a child, but maybe like preteen, my dad told me a couple of years ago that they like thought I was gay because I had no interest in niggas, I guess they felt. I like my peas, and I've probably been liking my peas since a child. But
you be knowing.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, third quarter might still be around for fourth quarter as well. He's cool or whatever, but you know, this is another thing. about me is that I tend to like some distance, I think, and I might need to unpack that as well because he does not live here. So it makes it difficult to engage as much. But I would like it to be fucking consistent. That is exactly what I needed to
Consistency.
be.
Come on.
Jesus, I had to take a walk around the park, but I made it. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be I said it on the last time we was here talking about Dick. Explorative. Like I want to be able to explore with the person. Let's talk about it. Let's have a good discussion before. Like I want it to be fun, but consistent at most.
Come on.
Maybe I'll be ready for like some type of relationship. Like I don't think I want to be single forever, right? Like I don't.
No, I definitely want to be partnered. Yes.
Yeah, I want companionship, but I think I need to figure out what that looks like for me. Exactly. Like what do I want that to look like? And I've been learning some things about myself over the last couple of months. So who knows?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely, that's like some of my therapy homework, but I was just curious, like, what did you want your fourth quarter dick? I would not mind rocking with the meat that I have right now. Now in 2022, are we getting some new meat on the grill? Maybe.
Damn, I want to ask you this, but you just tell me if you can't say it. But as far as the meat you're rocking with, do you see like fourth quarter moving in a direction?
We gotta go to therapy on that. Like
okay.
That's because that's my own, that's my shit. That was one of the things that I realized why I had to hop back in. It's my shit.
Yeah. I mean,
shit. Because fear is really because we can say we want the things that we want, but fear is so crippling sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting, especially as I look at my own life, where I let fear seep in. It's some spots where it's just like it doesn't even really faze me. Like I'll feel it like, oh, this is scary, but we're gonna keep on going. And in some places, I really let that shit be a brick wall.
Yeah.
And so
that was a self-discovery for me. I think I fear commitment just as much as I might want it. And
it's like, so how do you do that? How do you you're totally scared of the things you want? Yeah. And that's some real ass shit.
Even just off some like somebody might hurt me shit. I think it's a little deeper than that. And that part probably has to do with me and how I feel about it. So yeah, I'm gonna sure enough take that to Dr. T.
Yeah. It's definitely on one of my lists because she verbatim asked me, why are you back here? We got some things to work through. And naturally, as I feel like everything, it'd be good to go back to parental issues. There's some daddy issue there. I'm sure we're gonna harp on, and I'm gonna cry, and then she's gonna give me homework, and I'll be like, I don't want to do this.
It be you thinking you okay, and then you go to therapy, and it's like every week I'm walking out puffy. I was like, motherfucker, I wasn't gonna cry today. I went in there with like, oh no, we're good. And we just get to talking and you're snotting, and it's really
snotting.
It's interesting, but I do need to get back there. Oh, and with the seasons changing, I did good last fall. But you never know, because we gonna be home again, and you and I stay home a lot.
I don't be in these streets.
Like I go every once in a while. Like I'm taking myself to a restaurant after this because I deserve.
Come on, you deserve.
Yeah, shitty week, a little bit. I cleaned today. I'm tired. I don't want to cook. My hands are sore from beating refrigerators. And yeah, I just would like someone to put a plate in front of me and a drink, and then come back.
Get your life over there at dinner time. So one last thing before we wrap up.
Okay.
Oh shit, that scared me. My phone rang. You know how your watch ring first? So I'm looking at my phone. It's not doing nothing, but my watch is like. I was gonna say this though before we wrap up. That totally threw my train of thought. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried a new toy and I was excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have expressed different ways that you masturbate. So here's a funny story. I'm gonna ask you the question. When you masturbate, do you so with the windows open ever?
Yo, okay. I mostly will close the window. Today I did not because I kept asking myself, why the fuck are you closing the window? Like, are you afraid of someone hearing you masturbate? So I try to test myself without closing the windows.
Okay. And I asked this because you're the first person to ask. I literally asked this because I had the windows open. Like this morning I got up and I went in the bathroom and I took out my retainers, took my vitamins. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to lay in bed and watch Billions. I'm going to open these curtains. And I was like, oh, the weather. I was like, it looked like a crisp. Open the windows, get some fresh air. Then at the Billions went off, I was like, well, let's have a little fun. Totally forgot the windows were open. And then I was like, wait a minute. I moved, so I'm in a new neighborhood. And I was like, are people talking? Are people outside? A panic attack. I'm not sure. I couldn't even. I was so afraid. Like, oh my God, did they hear? I think they heard.
Yeah.
I think they heard.
I'm trying to get over that being a care of mine, because I will start and be like, oh, let me go close the window. And for what?
Yeah, so I was just kind of like,
I was like, my room is on the back, so I'm like, there most likely probably isn't anybody out back. If they are, they're like a house over and they probably can't hear me. But you never know how loud you might get either. So I don't.
Or like if you're watching porn and the porn is loud. It was just a lot. So that was just my last question.
With AirPods. I'm one of them people.
I need to get some new AirPods actually. So
yeah.
It's on my list. Yeah. All right, Shika. Well, that was all I had for today.
All right, boo. Okay, everybody, or whenever day you're listening.
Yes. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Who had been saying that? Who said that?
All right. So you know what that time means. It is time for a confession. If this is your first time listening, Boonie's Confession, it is your chance to get something off your chest, release your sins, let us know a deep secret. Doesn't always have to be salacious, but those are really good ones. This week, we have a very short confession. Boonie, he knew it was me. I lied to my man about tucking old boy. I guess I mean fucking. About fucking old boy raw 3 times and not kissing him because that's nasty. I gave a compelling story, but he knows I'm lying. But I don't give a fuck. I'm sticking with my story out of principle to the grave. That is this week's confessional. Peace be with you, my dear Ratcheteer. If you would like to send in a Boonie's confession, you can do so by heading to thebooниebreakdown.com/Boonie's Confessions. It's very easy, or you can send an email to thebooниebreakdown@gmail.com. They're anonymous. They're so great. We love you and we thank you for sending in and sharing your truth with the Ratcheteer community. All right. So that is it for this week's episode. I would like to thank our guest, the homie, Shika, for coming on and having a really dope conversation with us all. Again, be sure to support our sponsor, Goalie Super Green Gummies. You can use the code Boonie Breakdown. You can also add that code on top of the code that they be using if they have a sale or whatever, but have fun shopping for your Goalie Gummies. All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or any apps that you listen to your favorites on. Don't forget to leave those 5-star reviews too. You might just hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. I do not make these pretty images for nothing, okay? Have a dope-ass week. Stay healthy, safe, and sane. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Homaste. Until next time.